What's up, everybody? Let me know if you guys can hear me out there. Again, we are messing around with the mic. Let's see here. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Oops. Having a problem with the mic. I don't know what's going on, man. Every time there's always a problem with this thing, man. I can hear you. Okay, so it does work. Oh my gosh, it does work. All right, so for today's topic, we're going to be talking about Las Vegas high-rise and everything that you need to know about buying or living in a Las Vegas high-rise, the pros and cons. If you guys are just tuning in for the first time, I am Krulsawat, your Las Vegas realtor, connecting you to the Las Vegas housing market. I got my man here, the guru of financing, Dan French with Guarantee Rate. What's going on, Dan?
What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Doing good?
Yeah, how's your weekend, man?
Good. Interesting weekend.
Really?
Yeah, very interesting.
What did you end up doing?
So, we went, usually Sundays are like a day where I spend with my family and with my parents.
Okay.
And, we went out. So we went to, I broke my phone. I think, I cracked the case.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the glass on the front. And so Sunday I went out and I was trying to see and find a place that they would, fix it.
Yeah.
And the reason is because me being as who I am, I'm like, nah, I don't need any insurance.
Oh, really?
On the phone, yeah. And I ended up cracking it. I never cracked the phone before, and I was in search of finding somebody to fix the glass.
Yeah, what kind of iPhone you got?
It's an iPhone 11.
Okay.
And so, it was funny because I was out and we went to the lake. It dropped on the brick.
Oh, crap. And
that's when it cracked. But anyway, so I was in search of that, and we ended up going to the mall, Galleria Mall. And when we went down there, it's a nice crowd. I mean, everybody's kind of walking around and stuff. But we went to Red Robin.
Red Robin.
Yeah, it's a restaurant. And what's funny is they, how I think that Nevada changed it where they had everybody shut down again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some of the bars and stuff, I believe, were shut down again for a period of time.
I thought the bars are open again.
Maybe they are. For whatever reason, they shut down.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so we went all the way in the mall to go eat there. We ended up having to go eat at Blaze Pizza across the street.
Was it pretty good? That sounds like a good place.
It's good. It's giving you some options. It wasn't bad. Is it my favorite? No. I mean, it's probably a healthier version in some ways of eating pizza, but
yeah.
So yeah, I went down there.
What kind of pizza did you get?
So they have like a build your own. And so what I did is I was just kind of surveying everything, and when I was looking around, I saw there was I had a chicken chicken pizza with spinach, had some mushrooms.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Peppers. And what's cool about it, it's like wood fire pizza. They put that wood fire right next to it, and it's like it literally cooks in like 10 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so in 10 minutes, man, you can just pop it out. And, I got the thin crust because got to watch the weight.
Who'd you end up going with?
So I went with my parents. And, it's funny because my girl, she's making it almost like a main thing of going and playing bingo with my parents on Sunday. It's kind of weird.
Oh, she likes to play bingo?
She just wants to, like, gamble.
Yeah.
But she wants to gamble, like, where the anticipation's there. Like if you go to play slots or you go play some machines or something, there's no real strategy. And there's not really in bingo either, but at least you're hedging or playing against others. Mm-hmm. So I think she feels that maybe she's got a better shot.
Yeah.
And I told you, man, that story, my mom, she won that 31,000, which is probably equivalent to double that today. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
I can't believe Red Robin is closed.
Well, that one was.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they're still open as far as the franchise, or I don't even know if it's a franchise, but I'm sure the corporation is open.
It's in a mall, so I don't know if it was just the volume of people coming in eating there is down, but I'm not sure.
Well, we were just literally there. I would say probably, I could swear it was like 3 weeks ago, dude, because I had to go fix my iPhone.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You cracked your phone?
Yeah, I dropped it. But it is a iPhone 6, so it is a little bit older.
Yeah.
But it only cost me, $69. But you were saying that they were charging you a little bit more, right?
Well, I found somebody that would do it. And then he's like, if you go over, so what's weird is I was with Sprint.
Yeah.
And so I went to this store. I haven't been into this place for a long time, but I went into one of the Sprint stores, and all of a sudden I show up and it's all purple and pink.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the heck, man, it's T-Mobile.
Yeah.
So I walk in and I was like, yo, there's a Sprint here.
Okay.
Guy's like, yeah, give it another 2 years and, there'll be no more Sprint. It's just going to be taken over by T-Mobile.
Yeah, it seems like T-Mobile, they went with that G5 too.
Yeah,
or so 5G.
I think they bought him out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so, because the guy was like, yeah, I can't really come out and say that, but I think that's what's happening.
Gotcha, got you. So I want to get into high-rises, okay?
Okay,
high-rise living. We haven't talked about that before, so I think this is a great topic because I do get, people that call me and they want to, live that high-rise living. What are you going to say?
What I was going to say is, with the condo thing, it does follow under the realm of condo. Because, like, for me, and I wanted to bring this up before the show to you, I forgot to tell you, is when you talk about high-rise, it's a little bit different. Because if it's not classified as, like, a condo or a unit, then it's really, we have issues giving financing on it. Now, you can find a bank or, like, a brokered option where they do that for a niche.
Yeah.
But then it's like sometimes it's 20% down or they got overlays and stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about, on my part of it, if it falls under the classification of a condo, because that's when you can really give a loan on a high rise.
Well, how do we identify that? And that's what I want to talk about, because in the real estate world, when you are an agent, there's a difference. When it's 5 units or 5 stories and below, it's considered a condo. Anything above the 5 stories, it's considered a high rise.
Well, I think it's classification, but if it's a shared dwelling and it's classified, and you can see that, it has a unit number next to it. Yeah. Not a lot number unit. Now, obviously, that's classified as a condo. And then also you have to make sure that it meets Fannie and Freddie guidelines.
Well, townhomes is like that too, where some of these townhomes or condo conversions into townhomes, they will have a unit number. And sometimes we can run into those issues with the county, the way that the deed was filed. And I'm sorry, the way it was recorded. And we've ran across some of those issues sometimes, but, with the underwriting, just depending how scrutinized the file that, they're really looking at. So it's really case by cases basis. But would you live in the high rise?
Oh, of course.
Would you really?
Oh, yeah.
I always wanted to live in the high rise, that lifestyle, but man, there are some pros and cons to it, man.
Well, to say I would live there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would vacation there maybe.
Yeah.
I could live there maybe for weeks or months, maybe, but I don't know if I would want to live there for like my main home.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I tell you what, what's weird is, I travel to California a lot.
Yeah.
Go a lot of places. And when you go into like a nice hotel, I mean, I'm not talking like Ritz-Carlton or anything like that, but I'm just saying when you go to a nice hotel and then you can survey out, especially with the Vegas view, like if you did it here.
Yeah.
I don't see why I would not enjoy that. Like why would you not enjoy waking up if you did and like you got room service and it's like you can see the strip, and you got all that view and it's just like that whole lifestyle.
You know how you just mentioned the view?
Yes.
That's like the main thing when you're buying a high-rise condo is the view.
It's huge, man.
And we'll get into that. Now, I do want to let you know that we have a total of 30 high-rises here throughout the Las Vegas Valley.
Wow.
And do you know what the first high-rise was?
No.
Okay. Well, take a guess. Let me know if you guys know exactly the first high-rise was. Let me know in the comments. Okay. I'm curious to see if you guys know what the first high-rise is. But you know what? I'm going to just show you guys what the first high-rise is. But give me just a second here because we just added another monitor here. Let's take a look here.
Oh, you got another monitor.
Yeah. Let me know if you guys see this right here. And also let me know if the audio comes up. And maybe it just takes a little bit here. But right here on your screen, Dan, let me know if you guys can hear the audio. I would really appreciate that. Oh, his name is Dan French, not his name is Lender with Guarantee Rate. You know what it was? I was like so focused on trying to like run all this at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part about this. It's like you got to mess around with the audio. You got to mess around with the cameras.
Yeah.
I mean, you could really got to like, constantly have a conversation. No, it is. I'm doing like 5 things at once. So I do apologize. It is Dan French with Guaranteed Rate Mortgage.
I was on the radio.
Damn, I can't believe.
And when they had a guest come on, I've done this a couple of times. I actually said the guest's wrong name.
Oh, really?
Remember you were there.
Oh, so Teresa Sterling says that, yes, I can hear you fine. Perfect. So that means this does work. So let's take a look at this. Unfortunately, Dan, I'm going to move my screen a little bit like this. And this what kind of sucks for you. But at least we can kind of see what is going on in this screen right here. So the first high-rise to be built was the Regency Tower. It was built in 1974, and it has a total of 226 units. Have you ever seen this tower before?
I have. I didn't know it was the first one, though. I really didn't. That's the very first one that they built.
Very first tower, man. Now, I remember when I first started, there was a bank loan. It was like a quarter unit. I think they were going for like 900,000.
Wow.
Now, when it comes to like high rises, right? What you need to be aware of is that you got to be buying in the right high rise. You can't just buy any high rise. Well, I mean, let me ask you this: when you're buying a high rise, let's say if you decided to buy one, what are the things that you would actually look out for? I mean, what do you think?
Well, I think there's that litigation. Right? If there's anything going against the facility, that's always something. I mean, usually it was like somebody suing the HOA if there was one, or somebody that, was in, the controller, if you want to call it, as far as that high rise.
Yeah.
Also, is it classified as, what is it classified as? Condo, or what is it? Because like I said, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and some of these lenders, sanctions, GSEs, they have guidelines. And if they don't fit those guidelines, then you're going, okay, well, what bank will give me the option to buy this? And what are their overlays? What are their guidelines?
Yeah. You know what I noticed? A lot of these banks now are financing these high rise.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm saying this is I do have the stats, but if we take a look at the closed transactions right now for financing, 15% are doing financing, but all the high rises right now, they're accepting financing.
Yeah.
But it is hard to get into these type of deals because a lot of these high rises with the median price point is going to be roughly around like 275,000. But I think the hard part to get the deal done is the financing, right?
It is. It's because when you have something where it's not a traditional way of doing something.
Yeah.
Like everybody doesn't go out and buy a high rise.
Yeah.
So then you have to go, okay, well, what is it classified as? And then as an investor, are you willing to invest money into that?
Yeah.
And then everybody's always looking. So how do I limit the problems that could come up?
Mm-hmm.
As far as a lender standpoint, that's the collateral that they have, which is that high rise. So what could affect me if I lend my money there?
So when was the last time you did a high rise deal?
A high-rise deal, it's probably been a couple years.
Damn, that long?
Yeah, because most people pay cash.
Yeah, and there's not really that many buyers out there to buy high-rises, though.
Well, it's not a big niche of the market.
Yeah, it's not.
And so you're going to have to look at banks will go with where niches are at. Mm-hmm. It's the same as like a Foreign National or some of those unique one-off type programs. Every lender out there will sell this, and this, and it's like, well, how often do you really use that program?
Yeah.
So,
and can your bank even do financing on something like that?
We can, but we don't. So for me, I always broker it out because it's lenient. And
what does that mean by brokering it out?
Brokering it out means you're finding an investor that is going to be favorable on the overlays and guidelines that are provided to the client or the consumer. Yeah. So that way they have a little bit easier path to get into buying that.
Gotcha. Got you. Okay. Well, there's something I want to share with you guys as far as financing consideration. And this is what this means. It's every time you go online, you look at a property or a unit that's for sale, there's certain stipulations as far as the type of financing, because when it comes to financing, it's just not one traditional financing. You have VA, which is Veterans Administration. Mm-hmm. You have the FHA, Federal Housing Administration. Then you have a traditional conventional loan, right? Mm-hmm. At 5, 10, and 15% down. And also you have cash buyers out there. So that's kind of like majority of your buyers. So if we take a look at all the units for sale right now, we have a total of 665 units available as of today, okay? And 100% of these units will accept 100% financing. I'm sorry, 100% cash. So that's good. Now, when it comes to conventional, it's only 85% of the market. FHA is only 13% of the market, and VA is only 22% of the market.
No, that's as a whole, right? That's not just, is that just for high rises, or is that for as a whole?
Yeah, no, this is for all the high rises that are available that's listed on the MLS as of today. This is what the agents are putting in for financing consideration and stating that this is what they will accept. I mean, have you seen a VA buyer, or have you heard a VA buyer or even a conventional buyer financing a high rise?
Well, if it's classified as it's an approved property, you can actually look this stuff up online.
Where do you go for something like that?
So VA has its own little property. You put the description in.
Yeah.
And if you're buying a condo or any type of property like that, you can actually look and see if it's financeable.
Oh, wow.
So that's government.
So it will tell you right away if that building.
Yeah. And usually what a lot of times what eliminates people from getting financing there is litigation or something unforeseen. Maybe something's going on with one of the tenants or somebody that owns one of the units, and the HOA. You know, if there's issues like that, then there's going to be some problems.
Now, there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about when you are buying a high rise in Vegas. Okay, one of the most important things that you need to do is buy one that has a view.
Yes,
and this is important because basically that's what you're really buying when you're buying a high rise. You're buying a view, especially in Las Vegas. And one of the things that I would personally do is get with your agent, right, and find out the surrounding areas. You want to see if there's anything else that's zoned to obstruct your view. Because you may be buying in a high rise, right? Got a badass view. Next thing you know it, they started building something. It's the same thing with Turnberry Place. Remember that?
I've been there.
Yeah. We had the 4 towers. Next thing you know it, then they built the Fontainebleau. So everybody on those 2 towers on the back end lost the value of their high rise. You know
what's crazy too?
I'd be so freaking pissed, bro.
You know what's different though is that like Turnberry and those places. You know how like in Vegas, you have neighbors that, and I don't know if this is like everywhere, but neighbors aren't really. Sometimes they're friendly, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they just have their blinders on.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's kind of a transient type city where people are moving in and out a lot and moving around. But it seemed like they're really friendly because they see you. Like it's almost like you have to engage. You might see them, going up the elevator or down the elevator or something.
Really?
Yeah. So I felt like everybody, when I went to Turnberry Towers, everybody said hi. And I don't know. Yeah. I mean, even people, because there's people that work there too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you got people that help you and bring in stuff from the car or whatever, or valet. It just seemed like you have to engage. Like you can't just, all right, I'm going to tuck tail and I'm going to like put my blinders on and go in my house and not say, act like I don't see anybody.
Well, it's a whole different like lifestyle.
It is, man.
You know what I mean? Just living that lifestyle.
Yeah.
I would say it's like more like party, chill, but it's not like a house, because a house you can like store stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With Turnberry, you can't like really do any of that stuff. It's kind of, you're living really minimalist, I guess.
Well, I think it's for a lot of those people though. They probably are like coming in somewhere and they're just staying here for a few days. Obviously, people aren't going to just like set up camp in those places, So I don't know. I think it's more of like a vacation second style home. That's like timeshares.
Yeah.
I don't think they're like timeshares like exactly, but I think people buy timeshares for that same reason, is they don't want to feel like they're tied to something like that. They just want to come in, do their thing, have enough necessity, but then they just get, whatever is needed. It's just either delivered or they get it downstairs or whatever, and then they're out.
Damn, look at some of that views in Turnberry Place. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy, man.
Dude, imagine that lifestyle, dude.
It's crazy.
The other thing that's crazy about living in a high rise is I realize each high rise has its own different flair. And what I mean by that is like the style, the atmosphere, and also the people that live there. Like I've noticed like some units or some towers are more kind of young and hip, party, Some of them are just kind of like more laid back.
It's kind of like casinos.
Yeah, it's like,
you know, wherever you buy or wherever you stay is kind of that's the aura that you give.
Yeah, like this Turnberry place right here. What I feel like it's just kind of like, you know, more. I don't want to say wealthier people, but these units in here are pretty pricey, and everybody's just more kind of like laid back, kind of like retired.
Yeah, it's kind of you know, one thing you can see. Look at that view right there on Turnberry Place, though.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's. I think.
You think that's a panty dropper? Or underwear dropper?
Every day of the week.
I know, man. Look at that lifestyle, dude. I mean, it's fun. The only thing is that, dude, imagine if you like forgot something. You gotta like run back upstairs.
You see that tram right there though by Turnberry Towers? Have you ever been on that?
No, I haven't.
That goes by the convention center.
Yeah, it goes in the back of it. Yeah.
It's kind of cool because I know it goes all the way through the back of the strip.
Yeah.
So that's another thing is really with Uber taxis. You got that tram. Mm-hmm. I mean, you come out here and let's say you stay. Most of those places are right next to the strip, right?
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, there's not too many outside the strip, is there?
I mean, there's a few that are outside of the strip, but I mean, if you're gonna buy a high rise, why not buy one that's on the strip?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see the value of buying something off the strip. So if you think about it, those things are kind of like wanting to have everything at your fingertips and to have the strip access as well. It's like,
yeah,
everything, like I said, man, everything in Vegas is right there. So yeah, I don't know. I think the high towers and, you know, the whole element of that, I think it's pretty hot, you know?
No, I gotcha.
So I wanted to, did you ever want to talk about the condos and stuff like that? Or is that something you just want to?
I mean, no, we're just talking, man. I mean, there's like, relax, bro. You got to go somewhere?
No, I got nowhere to go.
It's like you trying to get your shit out so quick, like relax for a second.
Well, I wanted to tell you something because, I don't know, man. It's like crazy because I think the strip itself is starting to open up. You know.
I thought you wanted to talk about the financing part.
No, not yet.
Oh shit, my bad.
No, yeah. Right, I was just like, are we done with the financing on that part of it?
No, I mean we're just talking, man. There's no format.
So no, I was gonna say, man, if you look at some of these videos that are coming out, the strip's really opened up. Where, dude, it's like you're really like if you go down there, you get a lot of people walking now. You know, like coming up the stairs and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been like that for a couple weeks now. Yeah. You know what's crazy is I was out there Friday night, probably around like 10 or 11. It wasn't that busy, but on a Saturday night, that thing was just like traffic off the hook. Oh, here's another tower I wanted to show you. Panorama towers. So we got, if you take a look right here, we got towers number 1 and 2. This was actually the
Panorama.
Yeah, this was actually the South Tower, the North and South Tower. And what happened was they had another tower that was coming up, but it looks like it got bought out here, and they made this into the Martin. This is a pretty badass tower right here.
No, it is.
Now, one thing that if I bought a high rise, I would definitely want to be at least on the 18th floor or higher, because I realized on the 18th floor, dude, the view is like unbelievable, bro.
Do they have access to stuff on the top? Like, there's a lot of those places that have stuff on the top. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there was another place. I forget the name of that. I think it was Newport. This is like one of my favorite towers at one point, and I actually was gonna buy one, and never got around pulling the trigger. I took my wife up there. I was trying to sell her on the product, and she basically talked that product down. Let me go to this website real quick. This is pretty dope, dude. See if I can get some pictures here.
I'll tell you what, dude. That area all up there in Newport.
Yeah.
So we went down there, has some really good food down there, some seafood.
Yeah.
That's some of the best seafood you can eat, man.
Oh, really?
Because it's so fresh. Yeah, it's so fresh. You know, you go down there, it's like some of the best stuff you can get.
Dude, take a look at this, dude. Let me pull this up real quick. I don't know if you can see this or not, but so here's that tower I was talking about, right? Wow. And on the top floor, you have like this pool.
Yeah.
And you have like this track, dude, that you can kind of like run around, which is kind of cool, dude. And I think the track is only like less than like a quarter mile.
So how much does it cost to buy something like that right here at this one?
Well, I remember 10 years ago, man, when I didn't have the cash, it was like $95,000. I was trying to convince this lady to buy one.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't do it. But now
$95,000?
Yeah, $95,000.
That's
but
cheap,
now,
man.
Yeah, I know. But now They're about like 365,000 starting.
Wow.
Now I did do a full video on this one once on a penthouse, which was kind of cool. But that's another thing. Some of these towers, man, it just seems like you got to take a look at the service as well and what you actually get with it as far as like, you know, the amenities.
Yeah.
Because some of these amenities and the concierge service is like off the hook, dude. Some of them, they're just like,
they have an HOA on this?
Yeah, dude.
Of course, right?
Of course, dude. HOAs, dude, are like almost like $500 average, dude.
What comes with that, though? What is like, what
Shit.
is it?
No.
They got a gym and all kinds of stuff.
Well, that's a good point that you just made, and I wanted to talk about that too as well. Depending. So that's why when you do buy a high rise, you got to see what it comes with. Some of them will come with trash, sewage, cable.
Yeah.
A lot of them will come with trash, sewage, cable. Some won't come with electric. It just depends, and that's why you gotta, you know, get with your agent, kind of look at the fine lines, look at the detail, see exactly what is actually included with these things.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you too. Like as a lender, everybody always like, oh well, why are you putting that HOA in there? Still liability. You know, they're always like, well, is it
part of your payment?
It's part of your payment, but it's not.
You talking about your debt to income ratio?
No. What I'm saying is, it is. Yeah, you're 100% right, but I think people think it's part of their mortgage payment, but it's not. They pay it separate.
Yeah.
But as a lender, you have to put it in there. Yeah.
Hey, there's one. What do you think is the highest HOA payment on one of these?
Probably like, oh man, I would say I think I've seen some stuff around $900.
Yeah. You know, I was working with a guy out in Hawaii. He had like a penthouse.
Yeah.
You know how much he was paying?
Huh?
Do you guess, man?
I mean, 1,000?
1,000?
Yeah.
Man.
Did I get it?
No, you didn't get it. Dude, check this out, man. This guy pays about almost $10,000 a month on an HOA.
He must have some money, bro.
Bro, he got some big money. $10,000?
I mean, like, he's got to be doing something big.
Dude, I couldn't even spend $10,000. Dude, if you gave me $10,000, you're like, yo, go buy something. I'm like, hell, I ain't buying shit. I'm going to keep this.
That's like as much as some people make in a month. A lot more.
Oh, I know,
right?
dude. Imagine that, dude.
And he's just, I'm going to throw it at an HOA.
Just like it's nothing.
And he probably doesn't even use all of it.
Nah, man. And you know what's crazy? Is like when this dude bought it, like he doesn't even live there.
That's crazy.
But I mean, he's got other property in Hawaii. I mean, the dude's got money though, but I can't believe $10,000 a month, dude. Some places are a little bit more expensive.
Well, I think, look, everybody's willing to spend for something that's like, okay, look, I got my threshold.
Yeah.
And some people don't even have a threshold. They don't even know what that means.
Yeah. All I know is if I'm paying 10 grand, I want to be on the top of this damn building. I want a helipad that comes with this shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know. You telling me.
I got a question, man, and it's not like, but about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're getting into this. So, Trump Towers, that's a high rise, right?
Yeah. That's a high rise.
Okay. I thought for some reason it was a timeshare.
No. See, this is where people are being misled. It's actually a co-op. So what a co-op is, it means that you're signing a piece of paper that you own this airspace that's inside this little box.
Got it.
And what's great about a timeshare, and I was thinking about buying one over at the Palms.
Yeah.
Palms place, right? And what a co-op is, basically you just bought a piece of paper saying that you own this air rights, this time, this space. So typically a lot of people that own these co-ops, they're never really living in the unit.
Yeah.
What they do is a lot of corporate people would just buy it and just lease it out. Then you would have a management company, right, that will lease it for you. Now, if they don't get, enough, then they'll come after you to get the rest for the remaining balance. So there's like a fee involved. So it's like $5,000, and they're constantly renting it out like a hotel because that's normally what they do.
That's
right?
Crazy.
Then at that point, whatever the remaining balance is, they'll come and get it from you.
It's crazy because
I think it's a bad deal, though.
I do too. I mean, I don't know, man. It depends, I guess, everybody's goals.
Yeah, it just depends what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, as long as it has a washer and dry. I mean, there's some people that do live in those things.
Yeah.
I was thinking about purchasing one, but I don't want to tell the listeners why just yet. But I know. I mean, we talked about it. As far as what my plans and the strategies are. The reason why I don't want to give it out because I don't want other agents that are watching this mimicking what I'm doing.
Right now.
Yeah, taking my ideas. You know what I'm saying? I'll just wait.
Look, man, you know this is a copycat world.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
You got a lot of people out there
that means I must be doing something right.
You must be doing something right.
Wait till they see this podcast. They go, shit.
Everybody gonna be copying you.
Yeah, they'd be like, how's this guy doing it?
I think what you do though, man, is you got that innovative thing going. So
I'll try to.
Yeah.
I mean, now we got to get an additional camera though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if you go back and you look at some of the things that's going on around the Strip, what I was trying to say is that everybody's always, the questions we always get is like, is it back to normal or is it? I mean, I don't know. I think it is, but you know what that's going to do is drive people to be here or come here, especially if they want to buy a home. And so that's why I think it's good to kind of bring that up, that I think Vegas is kind of getting back to normal.
Nah, well, maybe like the new normal.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be it might not ever be the way it was, but it's, you know, you got traffic. So
yeah. Why don't you turn that camera just a little bit this way? A little bit more.
On you?
Oh, no. That may be a little bit too far. I'm going to try to get both of us in here. Now go back the other way, just a little bit. Little bit more. Right there. Oh.
No.
Go back. Right there. Ooh, that's a good shot, son. You look good right there.
Yeah.
You look buff.
Or fat.
You're in training right now, bro.
That's right.
Now, let's talk about closings. The last 30 days, okay? High rises, 61 units closed. That's not that much. That just tells you the market.
The demand is not there.
Yeah, that's only that's only 10% of the market that's closing, dude.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like, look, if you look at it as
that's
a whole...
That's a 10-month supply.
Yeah, and look at it as builders and people. They're investing money into these casinos. They're investing money into these the high rises, but they're not doing it like homes. Like builders, the money's in homes, right? Single, building homes, isn't it? Wouldn't you think? I mean, there's still some money in high rises. Is there a lot of people that are really interested in those? I don't know. It's
a certain type of lifestyle, it's a certain type of demographics. But I can tell you what, man, what I realized in 2008 when the market crashed, the first to go, right after commercial was high rises.
Yeah.
Then condos, then townhomes, then single family residence.
I would get at least three to 5 calls a week, and it was like, hey, can I get a financing on a high rise? And nobody wanted to touch those because of a lot of things going on with the litigation. You know, people would buy those homes or buy those high rises, and then they just let them go. And
the crazy thing about it is, for the median price point for a high rise is $275,000, and you get 1,002 square feet, 1 bedroom, 2 bathrooms.
Wow.
The average days on the market, 49 days. That's not a long. I mean, that's pretty good. 49 days.
That's pretty good. And also, let me ask you this question. Kind of comparison to California.
Yeah.
If you were to think that how much, like, let's say a place like California or another place, I mean, that's a pretty good price though compared to what others would sell similar properties.
Oh
right?
yeah, I mean, shit. If you bought a home, if you bought a high rise in California, that'd probably like double or triple.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean,
even like Hawaii too as well. Now, there's one thing I do want to mention that at $309 a square foot, 49 days on the market, compared to a single family residence, $181 a square foot.
Wow.
13 days on the market. That almost makes you kind of like realize, is it worth to buy a condo, or should I just take that money and buy more house, or do I want to live that lifestyle? That's what it really comes down to, bro. Like the lifestyle.
Yeah, but I also think that, I mean, there's some people, like you said, that got money, but there's also some people that they don't want to be held down by anything, and maybe that's a good opportunity, so they buy something like that versus a condo or home, and then they can be here. Like I said, they want quick, easy, in and out. Maybe they're here for a few days or a week.
Yeah.
No commitment. They just maybe have, paid some cash, threw some money down at it. That's that lifestyle. They're transient. They're transferring from state to state, probably doing things like that.
And I think that would definitely make sense. But to live in a high rise, I mean, you got to have some space. You got to have some storage. And another thing, let's talk about that parking. Yeah. When you're buying a high rise, that's something that you definitely want to take a look at is, do you get parking? And how much parking do you get?
Well, do they have valets? Right.
Well, I mean, they do have parking stalls. Some units may have 2. Some may also have a storage. But yeah, there's always a valet. And what I realized, the lifestyle with living in these high rises, you know, talking about the valet, I was talking to a guy, you know, you could do it 2 ways. You could park your own car, or you can have the valet guys park it, right? Now, you don't have to tip them all the time. Like, especially if you live in the unit, you would tip them at the end of the year, but you better make sure you tip them really well.
I think it's like, and I hate to say this, but to me, it's like living in a hotel.
That's basically what it is.
I mean, look, when I went to California, I stayed in a hotel. They had workout, they had breakfast, dinner, everything ready for you. They had view. I mean, they even had like separate rooms for different things. Like if you wanted to go work, you could just set up right there.
A conference room, a computer room.
Big conference room.
Well,
I mean, it's crazy,
I think,
man.
You know what? With the HOAs, roughly around 500, I think it is kind of worth it. I mean, if you can get your gas paid for, trash, sewage, water paid for, the amenities, you have a full gym, you have a concierge, right? You got the pool, spa, the cabana.
I think too, man, you got to be single, man. You got to have that single lifestyle, guy or girl. Like for me, if I was single and I had some money and I was traveling and doing my thing, I will probably do it, man. You know what I mean? Especially if I was young. Like there's so many people. How many people that are young?
Dude, how old are you, bro? You like young? You talking like you old.
I'm over the hill, man.
Crap.
Nah, but look, if I was in my late 20s, okay, and I'm out there and I'm doing my thing, like you said, I think that would be like for me, because it would be like, well, I got nothing tying me down. I think that's the lifestyle. But we talk about all the time. How many people in their 20s got money now?
Dude, a lot of people.
A lot of people, dude. You know, with everything at their fingertips, they got all this, you know, ways of making money now. It's like
$1 million ain't nothing anymore, dude. That's just crazy, man. Isn't it?
No,
I mean, it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, because you know, you work hard for that money, but still, everybody's almost got like $1 million, dude. It's just insane.
I think too that you have to look at. There's a lot more printing money, and there's a lot more money in circulation.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see a lot more people becoming millionaires and stuff like that. You said billionaires. What was that number of billionaires you said?
I think it was like 49 now.
That's just insane.
In the U.S. alone or something?
Yeah.
Like it's just growing rapidly.
I mean, it's got to be.
No, I'm sorry. The billionaires, let me correct myself. The billionaires this time around during this pandemic, they increased their wealth by 49%.
That's crazy. I want to answer this question about pets in condos or high rises. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, and that's a good question. Okay, some of these high rises you have to take a look when you're working with your agent. Make sure to get the HOA resale package.
Yeah.
You want to take a look to see how many pets you can get. Typically, it's 2 pets, and also it has to be a certain weight. So that's something that you have to identify. Gotcha. Now, you can't be bringing up a zebra up in there or anything like that.
Nah, man. White tiger?
Yeah, I mean, you could sneak them in. Now, talking about that, let's talk about the rentals. Some of these high-rises do have a rental restriction.
Yeah.
A lot of them, I would say probably all of them, won't let you do a month-to-month. Their minimum requirement is typically about 6 months.
Why is that?
Well, because you don't want people coming in and out, because now the security is jeopardized.
Kind of similar like an Airbnb where it's like certain locations. They don't want all of the, people coming in and out late at night. And that's why some HOAs, I think only like Henderson here really does the Airbnb.
Yeah, but the guidelines are always changing.
Yeah.
Also, the security, bro, at the high rises.
It's ridiculous.
These dudes are like Fort Knox,
it's like
bro.
SWAT, like coming in, like, no, you know what I mean?
Bro, they'll be mad dogging your ass. I remember I went to this high rise and I went to the front desk.
Yeah.
Just to go show a property.
Yeah.
They got to get your ID. They get your full information. And you get like this one day pass. Not even a 1 day pass, a one-time pass to go in the elevator. You need a fob just to go from the elevator to like the floor that you're going on.
Yeah. And
I kind of do like this as far as like security for a high rise, especially if I lived in a high rise.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about a high rise. a celebrity, like you. Yeah, I was going to say, oh, you got it too. You beat me to it. Anyway, you don't want people to like invade your privacy or, you just don't want people knocking on your door. So I think this is kind of good. And I remember just even going up to the elevator, I got stuck.
Yeah.
I had to like wave at the camera, and basically they were following me through the camera system all the way to the unit. Like that's how tight it is.
Well, I think too, like,
and you can only go to one floor. It's not like you can go to any floor, dude. And they won't even let you take like pictures or video, which makes sense.
I think as a whole, Las Vegas has encompassed a lot of different varieties of things that has contributed to why we need stronger security everywhere. I mean, it's weird. Obviously, technology's growing too, but I don't know, man. I think you go into casinos now, it's a little different. You know, I feel like Big Brother's always watching now, you know, where it's like before I didn't feel like that, you know? So I don't know. To me, I just think that I agree, man. It's crazy.
Also, if we take a look at the buyers, we talked about there were 61 closings in the last 30 days.
Yeah.
75% of them were cash buyers, 22% were conventional buyers, and 3% were owner would carry. And what owner would carry means is that the owner owns the property free and clear, is the bank, and you're making payments to them.
Yep.
Until you pay off the unit or whatever your terms and your agreements are.
What about lease to own? Do you ever hear about that anymore?
Yeah, sometimes I get people to call me, but it doesn't make any sense to do a lease to own. And especially if you are the investor, it's such a big liability, especially if you have principal.
Yeah.
The tenant is making principal payments towards it. That's just such a big liability. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But the money's good if you are an investor. It makes sense. But, you know, sometimes clients will call and they want to do lease to own, or owner will carry, but a lot of these you got to put down like 20%, 7% interest rate, and it's a balloon payment within like, 24 months, but it's amortized for 30 years. You always want the amortized to be as long as possible, but a balloon payment in, 24 months. And typically the reason why people do the balloon payment is with the 24 months is because the investor wants to get out. They want their money. And, you as a buyer typically will have bad credit, and that's the reason why you would do this. Yeah. But then you would have to fix your credit within 24 months. But I always say, why don't you just go with the traditional financing? You would put down 20% regardless anyway. And if it only took you 6 months to build your credit, you might as well go that route, and you're going to have the lowest interest rate. And you're paying fair market value.
I'm going to be honest, man. I think I've had about maybe 10. Yeah. Not one of them's made it. So the lease to own thing, they end up doing it, but they don't end up buying for some reason, So I don't know. Cece's putting some stuff out there, man.
Of course, she's a big fan of this show. We'll get to your guys' questions here shortly, but there's something that I wanted to show you here. This is the most expensive high-rise penthouse right now.
Is it in Abu Dhabi?
No, look how much this thing is, man. $7.5 million.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? And
that's the view of the strip, though. Look at that.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Wow. Can you click on a couple more pages with the arrows?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to.
That's pretty nice, man.
Yeah, let's...
Taxes on that thing. Wow, $34,000.
That's crazy.
Is that real?
That's dead real.
That's beating California.
With taxes?
Yeah.
I mean, you are buying a $7.5 million home. I mean, take a look at this thing. I mean, this thing is gorgeous.
Oh,
dude.
Man, it's nice.
Look at that. You just walk right into that thing.
See that number 1901? That's that unit number, right?
Yeah.
That's nice, man.
Well, if you're looking at that, there may be a slight delay because we're watching what's on the screen.
Yeah, I think something like that. That's a little bit different. Now, could you live in something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? But if we're talking about the average person out there that wants to buy a standard, high rise, I mean, that's a case by case.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Do you want to pay $7.5 million for something like this? Which is, don't get me wrong, this is a pretty badass home, but for $7.5 million, I can go get me...
Yeah, but it goes back to your boy. If you got the money...
Yeah, that's true.
Who cares? That's a drop in the bucket to some people.
Drop in a bucket just like that?
Yeah, man.
Dude, I don't know about
not
that.
in this room, but...
Yeah, let me get 2 of them.
Right.
I'll drop it. Let me get 2.
2 to go.
Yeah. I mean, look at these views, dude.
I just think, like, look at the modern look. It's got... I mean, dude, from the bathroom, you can see that. That's crazy, dude.
I don't know. I would probably get me a blue herring.
Look at that. You can literally be in that bathtub and have a view of the strip.
Take a shit?
No, just like bathing, and you could be reading and stuff and have the strip in back of you and be like, oh,
I own this thing.
Yeah, what's going on out there?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know what? I got to stop swearing. I keep saying the word shit.
You just did it again?
Yeah, I know. That's a bad habit. I'm going to knock it off. Here we go. Let's see how far I can go without cussing.
2 minutes.
Oh, come on.
Look at that. That's nice.
You telling me, dude.
See, and this is where it's like, well, okay, somebody wants to get if you ever wanted to, people don't need loans for stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a threshold for how much people, anything over $1 million, usually it's like a very large amount down. Or if you get over that threshold, ain't nobody going to ask for a loan for that, dude. They're just going to be like, I'm throwing money and I'm just buying, you know?
So, like, for this unit right here, it comes with gas, sewage, security, trash, and water. The amenities comes, you get the business center, the clubhouse, the fitness center. It is gated. You got a meeting room, barbecue grill, pool, security guarded, pool, hot spa,
all that's
storage,
included,
tennis, concierge.
Wow.
Also, the other thing is that don't forget to visit LVHomeExperts.com. This is a great website. You have all the properties that are currently available. We only place properties that are currently available. Off to the right-hand side right here, you'll see, just ask Chakits. And technically, it's not me that's answering the questions. It's one of our virtual assistants, so you can ask a question at any time. Now, right down here, if you want to go ahead and see what the value of your home is, you can get a free evaluation. Just go ahead and enter your address, and we will send you out a free evaluation on your property.
So they can find all this on LV Home Experts. That's where all this information and then numerous more properties. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you know how hard this is? We got to put this all together. And we break it all down for you. It tells you the school zones, tells you everything that you need. You can come down here all the way down to the bottom. You
that's interesting.
You have the aerial view.
You want to know why? Is because if you're in a high rise, then you're zoned in certain schools. That's probably people want to, like, if they ever thought about that.
Yeah.
Think about the kids, man. What about high rises and kids? Like,
man, they be doing homeschooling, man.
They ain't gonna be going to no school.
They ain't gonna go to school,
no, man. And you know what?
Teachers coming to their house.
but also, let me say this: so high rises, they don't have any restrictions on kids, right?
No, they ain't got no restrictions on kids, man. That's against the law, fool. Now, there's another thing I do want to show you here as well. You know, going back to this map view, this is important because I just wanted to share this with you. You can do the satellite. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can actually take this little icon and drop it right down here. And now, look at this. We are in somebody's pool. I don't even know how we got here. I happen to just drop into somebody's pool. Or we can do a street view too as well. Here we go as the street view. And that's what I like about this website that we have designed for you guys. I mean, take a look at this. I mean, take a look at this tower, dude. And this is right next to the Las Vegas Strip.
Look at that, how you can just kind of, it's almost like 3D, right?
Yeah, see, look at this. We made this just for you. Visit LVHomeExperts.com.
I was just down there too, man. I was doing some footage. Yeah, I was looking at the convention center.
Dude, look at this tower, dude. This thing is gangsta.
Did you see all the upgrades they're doing to the convention center? Yeah, they're doing a lot. I think there's, I don't know if it's open now, but.
Yeah, it looks like one big old wave or something.
Yeah,
weird.
All this right here is connected to them now, to the convention center.
This is all Howard Hughes right here, dude.
Yeah.
That dude's balling. Balling, and he ain't even alive. What the hell?
Crazy.
Oh, you telling me?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think you covered it. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of good information on buying. I think that most people, when they're looking at high rises, they're not looking for financing as the first option that I've seen.
All right.
There's some out there, but.
Let's take some calls. If you guys want to call in, 702-319-1092. And we can answer some of these questions here. See what we got for some of these questions. I'm going to open this thing up a little bit bigger. Why do we have such a... Why are you not talking, Dan?
Oh, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the questions.
Come on, bro.
They're coming in.
Call in live studio 702-319-1092.
There's some questions right now about what she was saying. Cece was saying, let's answer some of those questions. What are some of those questions?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. So let me see here. You should buy a high rise, dude.
Yeah?
Where are you going to put your dirt bike?
Right.
The other thing is, let me know in the comments below as I was switching cameras. If you guys could hear me on every single scene, I would really appreciate that. We was having some audio problems. I don't know what was going on.
Changes.
Yeah, it seems like it's always changing. So it looks like we do have a caller here. So let's answer this call. Hello.
Yes, what's up, Chucky?
Yo, who's this?
This is DJ Raul Hernandez. How you doing?
Mr. Hernandez, how are you doing today, sir?
I am doing great.
What's your question, boss?
So my question is, do you guys think there's going to be a housing market crash after the election?
That is a great question. Is it because if Biden wins, is that why you are asking this question?
That's exactly why I'm asking.
I thought it would be. Well, I think it's also too what's going to happen when everything's released on October 15th. Like, whether people are going to get foreclosed on that didn't pay their mortgage, or that maybe that's why.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Rents.
Well, rents. What's going to happen is they're going to file for evictions, but they're going to be backed up anyway. And also, there's a new law with the CDC. There's certain guidelines that if you make under like $90,000, also there's certain stipulations. I don't know exactly the guidelines. I haven't got into it yet. Mm-hmm. And you're actually protected by the CDC.
I think
nice.
I think to answer your question about it, for me, I don't know. I don't see data. I think you're going to have to see more data that, three large sectors are going to see it. The housing market, the stock market. You see a lot of geopolitical news that starts to see, because usually it falls. We're like the last to get the effect of it in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I think that, I don't know. I think we need to see more data. I mean,
well, we always talked about this when it comes to real estate. It's at a macro and a micro level, right? You got to take a look at what's going on with the economy. Then you got to take a look what's going on with the economy in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, yeah, we are affected because a lot of our homes that are being sold is based upon trends, right? I mean, what's crazy is that a lot of people are still buying and pricing has gone up.
I think, too, though, the biggest thing here is the consumer confidence. If people are willing to go out and spend and know that they can replenish what they just spent because they have confidence in the economy as a whole, then I think that's when you're going to see that the market continue to go. But I think if you start to see things where, housing market starts to go down and other things start to fall, you're going to start to see people hold on to their money, and ultimately that consumer confidence is going to start to dwindle. And so I think that's a big part of it.
Now, I don't think the housing market is going to crash like the way it did, because what happens is our government is just going to keep printing money. And I don't even think it matters who gets elected, because no matter if it's Biden or Trump, they just constantly keep printing money. The problem is that what people are not aware of. The more money that you print, you have hyperinflation. You're putting more money in the supply line. And when you have more money in the supply line, you're depreciating that dollar. And things are going to go up.
Is this holding you up from buying here? Is that why you're asking that question?
Well, I'm selling my home in the next couple of weeks, and I'm trying to stay 2 to 3 months without a house and then buy another one, and I'm hoping that crash comes soon so that it benefits me in that matter.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the problem is that nobody has a crystal ball, right? And you can't time out the market. But all you can do is, play your own game. Like what you're doing right now, you're playing your own game. You're going to wait till the election. You're going to see what's going on. You're going to see if it benefits you. Now, the other thing is that we can go 4 or 5 months, right? Somebody gets elected. Things are still going good. Next thing you know, you buy a home and the market crashes.
That's something that I was looking at too.
I mean, here's the thing. It's all a gamble nowadays.
Well, let's go back and say this, though. I mean, if it's a primary residence versus an investment or second home, I think it has a little bit different weight. You're buying a primary residence. I don't know if necessarily I would buy thinking that I'm going to wait to see if the market, anybody wants to time it out and get a deal. right? They want to go into something where it's like, okay, I got 100% return on what I just invested.
Yeah.
Chances are, though, you probably won't. Even if it did crash, though, markets always come back. Even in, 2006, 7, the market, it took time, but it came back. And the thing is because consumer confidence is always going to be there. People are always going to be wanting to buy homes. I think if you're buying a primary residence, I don't know if I would be so, focused on, is it going to crash and am I going to get a deal? Because I'm buying it at that point just to live in. I'm not buying it to make a return on investment or profit. For me, I'm putting as least amount of money as I can into a house.
Yeah.
Taking as least amount of risk and buying a primary residence, regardless if it goes up or down, because it's where I want to live and that's where my family's going to be.
Oh, I mean, you do make a good point. So it just really comes down to case by case basis. But I guess everybody just wants to know, is the market going to crash? And the answer is yes. The question is, when is it going to crash? That I just don't know. I know from the time I got into real estate and looking at real estate cycles, it always goes up and it always goes down. And I thought the market was going to crash about, 4 years ago. And I could have had like 4 more properties, but I didn't pull the trigger because, again, consumer confidence. I wasn't confident. I thought the market was going to tank. And now I could have made another $500,000, but that was a mistake that I made. And I talk about this every once in a while when I look back and I'm like, man, I could have bought that damn thing. And I didn't pull the trigger. So what it really comes down to is you have to take a look at your situation, what your game is, what your goals are, what your game plan is. Now, if you were going to buy a primary residence and you're going to be in the property for the next 10 years, that would probably make sense to buy a home based upon the interest rates. Now, the other compensating factor is that if you put down 50%, then that's kind of hard because if the market does tank and you did decide to sell in 5 years, that's hard to walk away versus putting, $30,000 down. It's a lot easier to walk away. And remember, when 2008, when the market crashed, there were so many government programs out there and there were so many things that, you could have done as an investor as far as strategically do a short sale. And that's what investors were doing in that time period. So there will always be some sort of government stimulus or government programs that are out there. So when it comes to real estate, I realize real estate is just a game. That's all it is. And if you understand the game, you can literally play the game to win. But let me flip this on you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I've had this house for 6 years now here in Temecula, and we've made about $200,000 in equity. Now, my wife wants to upgrade to a similar home, but a different layout.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think it's a good idea to upgrade, being the market now what it is?
How much is your payment on your home right now?
$1,700.
$1,700. Now, the home that you are going to buy, okay? How much is that home and how much would your payment be?
So we're going from $1,700 to $2,200.
And that would be $2,200 when you drop $250,000?
Well, we're trying to put only half down with the equity, so meaning $130,000 would go towards the house, and then the rest of the money we would use to upgrade the house.
Okay, so you're talking about the whole $250,000. How much is the house?
$630,000.
$630,000. So your remaining balance is $500,000. And what is your interest rate and your monthly payments going to come out to $2,200?
Benefit that we're getting is right now we're at a 4.25%, and we're going to go into a 2.75%.
Okay. So how long are you going to live in this home?
It's probably going to be our forever home.
Okay. So this is the way I want you to take a look at this. Number one, that $250,000, did you work for that money?
Yeah.
Did you work for that money?
No.
Okay.
No,
so you didn't work for that money. So that's the gravy.
No, that's the equity I made on this house that I've had for 6 years.
And
I bought it at $420,000, and now it's worth 600.
And that's what I wanted to get to, because you didn't work for this money. It's a lot easier to walk away with the house money. So if you put this money down and you upgrade it on the house and your payments are similar to the same, and this is something that you want, and you know that this is probably going to be the last home, if it was me, I would do it based upon what you are saying. Because now you're getting everything that you want. You pretty much have the same payment, and it doesn't matter if the market tanks, because you technically didn't work for this money. Now, if you worked hours and hours for the past years and years, and this is your money that you worked for, $250,000, that's something to consider.
Right.
So that's kind of my philosophy behind it.
I'm taking a gamble, but in a way that it's really not a gamble, because it's money that equity I've had here in this house. So.
Correct. It's a calculated move. And if this is something that you want, and this is something that, the boss wants, then you're going to have to do it.
Well, I got one other thing to say. I mean, you're saying upgrading the home, correct, that you're living in?
Well, since we have the 200 and some equity,
but
we're only putting half down, we want to get the wood floors, the swimming pool,
But you're talking about upgrading your current home, right?
Not the current one, the
new one. Okay, I wanted to confirm that, because I got lost there for a second.
Yeah, he wants a better home.
So you just want to upgrade your house. You got to realize, I mean, you can sell that house as long as the same value stays the same or even goes up, which it has been. You're going to get that money back anyways when you sell the next house.
Well, I mean, he's already talking about this is going to be the last house, so it really does make sense for him.
Yeah.
And he's going to get a lower interest rate too as well. I mean, I don't think rates are even going to go that low. I mean, how low can rates even really go?
Before they start giving 5%.
Before they start giving away free money, you know what I'm saying?
Well, look, let's talk about.
Here's the other question, Chucky. We love Toll Brothers. I love your videos on Toll Brothers. The community is called Summers Bend, where we are going to possibly purchase.
Okay.
I want you to come down and take a look at these homes, man. Summers Bend, and they have Toll Brothers in this community, and it's going to be gorgeous.
It's crazy. I get so many requests. I definitely will have to add that onto the list of homes. What's the average price point over there where you're at?
So, $730,000 is the most expensive. And this is in the city of Temecula, California. You've got wineries right behind you, and then you've got the Pechanga Casino, which is one of the biggest casinos in California.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful community, city to raise a family. So that's the reason why we moved to this city. It's away from LA. It's about an hour and 30 minutes. And I'm an hour and 30 minutes to San Diego. So it's hard for those big cities to buy a house here. I commute about an hour and 30 minutes every day.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been worth it for my family, and it's been a fun ride, if I say.
Got it.
I'm getting a transfer pretty soon to Temecula.
So let me ask you this: are you going to pull the trigger, and are you going to buy this home?
I am. I am. We are on the list, so we're just waiting on that. On the on the home to be built. So we just have to put the $15,000 down.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
When it's being built. Yeah.
And did you already get approved with through their lender?
We did. We got approved. My wife works for a school's first credit union.
Okay.
So we actually.
So you got some programs going with it.
Yes, we actually prefer her lenders opposed to theirs. I mean, if it's cheaper with theirs, I'd rather go with them.
Yeah. And what was the incentives that you got?
I don't think we've talked about that.
Oh, that's something I definitely would take a look at to see if you can get some closing costs. And also, you guys are paying a lot premium?
Yes. We're picking one of the higher lots, which is the third phase.
What are they charging for that thing?
So, $630,000 is what they're charging for that lot.
$630,000 for the lot premium?
Well,
I'm talking about just the lot.
Well, I don't know. I'm just talking about the home itself.
Gotcha.
Comes with it. Yeah.
Gotcha. And you're gonna spend probably like what, $170,000 into upgrades?
Yes.
Or 120,000. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, because the money's there.
Gotcha.
I mean, we want.
You know what, man?
You know how. Yeah.
I would definitely go for it. I mean, based upon what you're telling me, if I was in your situation, I would actually do it. But I don't think you're going to be able to get a pool. That's for sure.
I fell in love with the Toll Brothers glass pools, the ones you've been showing.
Yeah.
And those probably, I send you a message, and those probably are what? What are you guessing, 200,000?
Yeah, I'm building one right now. And the pool is like 250, but it's a completely tricked out pool. So now, Hernandez, hey, thank you so much for calling in. We do appreciate it, and you have a blessed day.
Guys.
Okay.
You too, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much for speaking with me.
Have a blessed day. Bye bye. Oh, that was cool, huh?
That was real cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Now we got another caller.
Okay.
Let's take another call. Hello, it's Chuck. You on the radio?
Hi, Chuck. My name is Jacqueline. I was just listening to your previous caller, and I'm actually looking in the Temecula area as well.
Oh, nice.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'd heard about the Summers Bend property, and we've driven around there. And so anyway, I'm a first-time. Well, my fiance and I will be potentially first-time homeowners. So we're green. We're like, don't even know. We kind of looked around, but we don't know what the heck we're doing.
Gotcha.
And I've been watching your videos a ton, and I've talked to my dad about you. I was like, this guy knows the ins and outs. My dad's an architect, so I was
nice.
just so impressed about all of the details that you pay attention to. And I was like, you got to watch his videos. So yeah, we're nervous too, because, the market's crazy right now. We're moving from downtown LA because my fiance is finally getting some flexibility to get out of the city. And so even rentals right now are insane. We've been looking since April for rental, and they're just flying off the market. So, we just thought, well, maybe it's better. Our rent here is about $3,000 a month, and we've got $50,000 in savings. It's not a whole lot, but we just thought it's better not to throw money away on rent anymore. But the prices are just like going up each day. These houses that this guy's talking about were in the $500,000 range, and now they're up to 6, 7. I'm seeing them go all the way up to 8, 9, $1 million plus. So what do you recommend? Also, you've already kind of talked a bit about the market, but also finding a good realtor. I'm not sure what to look for there. I wish you could come and show us around here in California, but what do you recommend as far as what do we look? Because we look on Zillow and they throw realtors at us, but I feel like it's pretty important to have somebody who knows, who has your back and knows what to look for, like how you do. I wouldn't even know what to look for as far as cabinetry, walls, all the things. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Well, I do appreciate your question, and I appreciate, I'm sure you're a subscriber too, right, to the channel?
I am, yeah.
I do appreciate that. So this is where I would start if I was you. The first thing that you need to do is actually speak to a lender. Did you speak to a lender yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So that would be the first thing I would do is speak to a lender, see exactly what type of loan program you'd be qualified for, okay, because that's going to be important, how much you're going to be qualified for, and find out exactly how much you got to put down and what your monthly payments are going to be. The reason why you need this information, it's like building a home. You need that foundation, because now let's say you have a purchase price, a purchasing power of $600,000. Now the next step is to get with a realtor. How do you find a realtor? You can go online, look for a realtor that's within your zip code. And if you're talking to agents that are on like Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, you can go ahead and do that. But you do want to set up an appointment and you want to interview these agents. You want to see what they're going to provide to you. Do they understand the market? And this is the most important thing. If they don't know what the average days in the market is, what the median price point is, that just tells you that they probably not as savvy or they don't understand what is going on within the marketplace. You also want to find out how long they've been an agent, how many deals have they done. Do they understand the customary practices within your city, your state, and your local area? Because when you start writing up an offer, you got to make sure you're writing up a clean offer so that way you can get the deal done. But here's the thing: when you speak to an agent, you're gonna kind of get that sense, that feeling. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And these are the questions that you have to ask. Did you want to chime in on this, Dan?
No, I think you covered it. You're buying in California.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely shop your loan with somebody there and see if they're giving you the right information. And a lot of times the realtor directs or doesn't direct, I wouldn't say that, but they
have their own lender.
They have somebody they work with that trusts, that they're going to get the job done. So if you do find a realtor, chances are they got a lender. And you guys, for me, it's always better to work as a team because we know how each other work.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to use that lender or realtor, but I think it does. There is some history usually with somebody working together.
What? You're absolutely right, Dan. And that's where it starts. A consumer will just jump online and, look at a property, get excited about it. Next thing you know, they register, put their information in, and now you're building rapport with this agent. Then this agent has their own lenders that they work with. And the reason why they do this is because a lot of, agents, they will team up with lenders because they know that once the lender says that they're fully approved and they understand what the conditions are, the agent should be able to structure the deal, right, to get the deal done. So communication is the key. So again, it goes back to, screening the realtor and asking these questions. But only you can really tell if, you have the right fit for this person or not, because sometimes what tends to happen is, the realtor could be smart, but they may not have a personality that fits your personality, and that can also clash too as well.
100%.
Now, I always talk about, you always want to find the midpoint between an agent as far as experience, because you may have an agent that's only been in the business for 2 years, but he's very aggressive and he's a hard worker and he's willing to get the deal done. And those are the kind of agents I would also look out for too as well. And also when it comes to a brand new home, if you're going to buy a brand new home, you definitely want to find a realtor that specializes in new home construction and that understands the contract. Yes. And that's very important. So I get referrals like all the time from like other agents that do want to do business. But the problem is that at this time, I don't really have anybody out in California that I could refer you to that I would actually, stamp my name on it. And I just don't do business that way because I have no control of that person. And I want to make sure that I don't have a bad rep. But for you, I think the best thing that you do is you do go online, talk to a few agents and see how many deals have they closed. As long as they understand the contract, you'll be okay. But it's far in between. You'll find an agent that really specializes in new home construction. And when it comes to new homes, this is something that's very new as far as like agents that really specialize in. This is a whole new different area.
Mm-hmm. I've found that some of the new builds, they offer their own lending program where they sometimes they say, well, they'll give you $7,000 off closing costs. Is that, a pretty good incentive to go with, or would I still go with the agent's lender?
That's a very good question. So the first thing you're going to do is once you get approved with that agent's lender, you're going to ask for a lending estimate. The lending estimate gives you the breakdown of the total fees that you're being charged based upon customary practices. So also, when you're working with an agent that specializes in new home, you need to make sure that lender specializes in new homes as well and understand the customary practices. So that way, once you get your lending estimate, it's actually correct. Because here in Las Vegas, with the lending estimate with the lender, they should already know who pays for what. So that way, you're getting an accurate total cost. Now, the second thing that you're going to do is obviously you're going to get approved through their lender too as well. And you're going to leverage both lenders out because you want both lenders to compete for your business. So you're going to speak to that lender and you're going to say, hey, look, I may not use you, but even though you were getting $7,000 credit towards closing costs, let me see that lending estimate. I want to see what the total fees are. Now you're comparing apples to apples. Don't really focus on interest rate. Interest rate does play a part, but you're not locked in until you go under contract. And typically it's about a 60 or a 30-day lock. And what that means is, can you explain the lock, Dan?
Yeah. So basically, to kind of put it into a nutshell, lenders can give you on present day a breakdown of all that, including the interest rate. But as the market moves, you got mortgage-backed securities, and I'm not going to go into detail, but they're traded every day. And so what happens is pricing changes every day. So if you wait 30 to 60 to 90 days out before you lock, like anybody can lock a loan 6 months out, but you have to pay a fee. Like the lender's going to say, yeah, we'll hold it for that long, but you have to pay a fee. So when you're picking lenders and you're shopping lenders, a lot of times on present day, you want to get the price down on, or the breakdown on what the rate is. And ultimately, you can follow this thing all the way till we get to close to the finish line where you got two lenders. But at the end of the day, what I get people wanting more, it seems like, is the incentives are there, but it really is depending on your position. If you don't have a lot of money coming to the table, a lot of people take the incentives. But there's a lot of people also that look at, okay, when we get close, what if the rate's better by a quarter of a point and you're at a $500,000 loan amount? Yeah. That could be $60 to $75 in your payment. Long term, that makes more sense. Yeah. So I think it's really just about what your goals are, like Chuck said, but it's also following that game plan of, looking at what lenders are doing. Don't just take what a lender tells you, get it in writing. Yeah. Because you can call a lender and be like, yeah, rates are 2.5%. Wow. Okay, do you have anything in writing that says that?
That's why you're going to request a lending estimate, so that way you can see exactly what is going on.
Okay, lending estimate.
Yep.
Got it. Oh, that is so helpful. So that's good to know, because so not only is it important to have a good realtor, it's good to shop, know your lender, who shopping lenders sounds quite important.
No, it's very important, because here's the thing. If your lender doesn't close the deal, then you're going to be on the hook. At the end of the day, the only person that's responsible on this contract is going to be you. It's not the agent, or it's not the lender. It's not the builder. It's only you. Okay. Now, from my experience, from dealing with a lot of lenders that represent the builder, and a lot of these builders will actually own the mortgage company, right? And now what you'll notice is that with the builder, the lender, right, is not really as far as on top of things as your traditional lender on the outside. And the reason why is because you have to understand that they're probably getting so many deals from their own builder that a lot of them are not making as much as money as a private broker. Okay. So they're doing volume, but also there's nothing wrong with that. There's pros and cons. Now, typically in the contract, and I don't know what California's contract is, but out here in Vegas, you typically have 30 days to get fully approved through the underwriting department. Now, if you don't get fully approved through the underwriting department, then you can lose your earnest money deposit. Now, if you worked with the lender, the builder, right, the builder's lender, if he can't get you fully approved within 30 days and it passes, normally they're pretty lenient on that kind of stuff and they'll let it extend. But when you work with the outside lender, they make it a little bit harder. Okay?
Okay.
But that's where I would start. I would actually speak to a realtor, find a good realtor, screen them. You can tell if they're a good agent or not. And from there, you're going to speak to their lender, but you should probably talk to 3 different lenders and you should leverage out each lender against each other so that way you get the best rates and the best fees, okay?
Okay, where's a good place to search for a lender?
Well, I would actually speak to an agent first, and that agent could point you in the right direction. And they should have probably about 3 or 4 different referrals. But you can start off with probably 2, because if you're going to go directly to a builder, then at that point you can also work with that builder too as well. But if you're going to do something like this, make sure everything is all done within a 2-week span. Don't let it go on for 6 months and constantly keep pulling your credit, okay?
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Sounds good, huh?
Yep. Looks like we're going to finish up. We've been into this for, I'm not even too sure how long, a minute and, actually an hour and 20 minutes.
Yep.
And do you have any final thoughts as we count down here? We have about 3 minutes.
When's the next recording? Do you have any idea?
Should be this week, Wednesday. And I think this is a pretty good test run for this show. The only thing is we got to hook up some more cameras.
So Wednesday's the next deal, huh?
Yep, it should be Wednesday.
All right.
So, I mean, that's pretty much it. If somebody wants to find you and want to get financing, where do they go?
VegasLoanGuru.com. Go check me out there. That's just my website.
Okay, and what about your YouTube channel? Are you still doing stuff on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm not like you, man. I don't get on there all the time. I'm not saying that I can't, but you know, I got family and stuff, so I try to get in there as much as I can. But it's just under my name, Dan French. So if you got some time, there's nothing crazy. Just putting out some good stuff going on in Vegas. So,
and if you have not had a chance, visit LVHomeExperts.com. We have all the properties currently on the market that's currently active. If you're looking for bank-owned property, short sale foreclosures, we have it all. That's right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Chakits Krulsawat with Simply Vegas, and have a blessed day, folks.